What's going on, guys? Jim the Game Guru, and today I'm going to show Flashpoint and Extreme Dangers Flashpoint, the game where you and a few of your friends are firefighters and you need to go into burning buildings and rescue people. Very, very cool. Flashpoint and Extreme Danger. I haven't played Extreme Danger yet, but I'm going to show in this video the components for Extreme Danger, which is an expansion to Flashpoint. It actually gives you new boards to play on, as well as like an upstairs and downstairs, and some new hazards that are in the rooms that you're going to be trying to rescue people. So I will show components of those, but today, as far as the gameplay, I'm going to go into Flashpoint and kind of go through some of the mechanics, how it's played, show all of the components that are in the game, and just do a quick run through with two firefighters and on experience mode. So there's two modes in this game. There's like a family mode, which is super, like, very washed down. It's very simplistic. It allows you to play with younger folks. But then there's the experience mode where it has three difficulties, which is one is recruit, one's veteran, and one is heroic. And I will be going over the recruit setup on this within the experience mode, and going through and showing how you move your firefighters, what actions you can make, and how you work with other team members to play the game and win. So I'm gonna go ahead and flip this around, show you the components, and we'll go through some gameplay, guys. All right, let's dig into some Flashpoint, the board game where you can be firefighters working together to rescue people. So here's what we have here. Is we have one of the boards that comes with the game. There are actually two boards that I have in there. This is actually reversible. On one side you have a beach house, and then in this top side right here we have a regular house. The actual board is divided into squares, so running across the top here you have 1 through 8 going this way, from 1 here to 8, then down here 1 to 8 this way. That way people on the other side can see the grid. Then you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 as far as red die, and it's the same thing through here, 1 through 6. And you have 2 die in this game that everyone's going to be rolling. So one of them is an 8-sided die that you will use for the black parts represented here on this part of the grid, right? And then on this part of the grid going across, you have the red die, and that's the one you're going to use both of these basically for coordinates on the board whenever certain actions take place. This game does come with several characters that you can use. So let's go into some of the components here. You can see the different firefighter meeples that I have there. This game will come with a few of them. This is 2 to 6 player game. So here you can see in here you have a bunch more, and they're kind of very generic looking firefighter meeple characters. So you can have up to 6 people. You can have different characters. You have a paramedic. You have CAFS firefighter, imaging technician, generalist, rescue specialist, fire captain, and down here I'm gonna be my 2 characters. I'm gonna have a hazmat technician and a driver operator that specializes on the hose for the fire truck. This game also comes with action cards, and like this action card will just basically tell you, hey, during your turn you can do this, this, and this. So you have an action phase that you move your characters. Then you have a part where you advance the fire, and then you replenish the point of interests. So that tells you kind of how the turn order is. Then you have the game end, which is building collapses, all damage markers replaced, victory, 7 or more victims rescued, or defeat, you have 4 or more victims lost. And then on the other side of the card, it tells you what your actions are. You can move through fire, move with victim or hazmat, open closed door, extinguish smoke, extinguish fire, chop, drive, ride, and we'll kind of get into a lot of these as we dig more into the game. Okay, so yeah, that's what the actions card does. All right. let's see what other juicy, yummy things there are in this game. This right here is, these little black cubes are the damage markers you put on the building as you get explosions. You'll have explosions in this game. This 12-sided die comes with the Extreme Danger expansion kit. And I'll show you why there's a 12-sided die. You'll use that when you use those boards. Here you have your fire tokens. These ones represent any kind of fire that's happening inside the building. This here you have points of interest on the board. These are the places that you try to go and rescue people. You have hazmat, which are like items that could be very lethal, toxic, and they kind of explode. Whenever there's fire, they'll explode. You have action tokens. So if you choose not to use all of your actions during your turn, you can actually have your actions roll to your next turn, and then you'll kind of take one of these tokens to know that you have an extra action beyond your 4 action points. Most of the firefighters will actually have 4 action points available to them. The Extreme Danger also comes with these other additional tokens, like you have like a toxic, poisonous token. You have like these ladders that you'll use on that board, because in that expansion you'll actually have boards that have an upstairs, and the only way you can kind of get to them is if you use like a ladder on the outside, which is kind of cool. You can use a ladder to go up through the window. There's additional items like other hazmat, like crazy stuff that can explode in some of the maps there for Extreme Danger. Then we have some more additional tokens here for Extreme Danger, where you have like, you know, jammed. I'm guessing that means that a door gets jammed or something. I don't know. I haven't played that expansion yet. And then there's like this, looks like this like represents windows, whether or not a window is open. I'm not sure what this is. This looks like something explosive. So something explosive happens. And on one side it's not explosive, and on the other side it is explosive. So I'm assuming something gets triggered there. Let's see what else we got. We've got these. It also comes with these, like, this comes with the base game, the color of your firefighter. So you just put that on your side to represent who you are. The Extreme Danger pack also comes with new meeples that represent each of the firefighters better. So you have these new meeples that are each firefighter uniquely represented based off of their card. And then you're a color, and whatever color you are, you just slap that color underneath your firefighter like this. And then you stick them on the board. Just like that. But I'm not worried about that right now. I'm not going to play with these ones. I'm just going to play with the basic ones today to kind of show you guys how some of the things go. The manual for Flashpoint, it's not that bad. It's got a little bit of beef to it. It's not crazy. I mean, it's really well documented. It looks like it's about 12 pages. So about 12 pages of manual. It tells you everything you need to do. And then in this experienced game setup, I went through this 1 through 15. It tells you really, you know, simply how to set that up. If you don't want to do that and you're playing with people that are younger, you could also go with the family game setup if you want. That's also an option. But the manual is, you know, well illustrated and kind of easy to follow. So that's the manual. Let me go into the other board of Extreme Danger and show you that one too. And show you why there's a 12-sided die. So Extreme Danger does come with its own big manual. So that's one thing if you end up getting this expansion pack for this game, you'll need to go through this big manual that tells you the difference with the different scenarios and the different boards that you're using. It actually has a hydraulic platform, which is kind of cool in this version. It's also got a basement. Remember, you go up and down. It has an attic where you can go up, and has a basement where you can go down. So it's got stairs in this version. It's got windows you can go from the outside. And here's kind of like the board right here. So this is the attic right here. You can see that's one piece. And you can see right here, see it goes 9 through 12. See 9 through 12, and then the standard 1 through 6 on this. So the grid gets bigger for your entire playing area. And then this does flip over to have the basement. So when you go down to the basement, this is the basement area, which is kind of neat. And then here is the main big board for extreme danger. If I can open this up. I mean, there's a lot of boards I've got here. Let me try to get this opened up. Yeah, here you go. So here's the main board right here. And this is also double-sided, just like the main board game for Flashpoint when you get it. So this looks like it's a garage or something. Yeah, like a mechanic's workshop or something. And then you can see right here, it's got like these green, like, so this version also has certain kind of doors. They're green icons where I think they call them fire doors or something. Oh, I almost wrecked the whole thing here. And then here's the reverse side. So here I'm assuming this is a different scenario or different building or something you can be to play, but this one looks like it's a little bit more divided into separate sections, and you could probably play this along with the attic and stuff like that. But you see, these are like windows right here, which is really cool. These are windows out here on the outside over here. Yeah, I really dig that. So I'm gonna dig into this one day. I have not had a chance to play Extreme Dangers yet, but it definitely looks pretty awesome. Okay, so let me go ahead and dig into the base game here and show you guys how to play. So, if remembering the turn order is 1, you roll, you spend your 4 action points, and here we've arrived at the house. The house already has 3 burning spots. We have 3 places of hazmat, and then we have 3 points of interest of people that we may want to save. You can start off by putting your firefighters anywhere you want outside. You have an ambulance and a fire truck out here too. These are vehicles that you can ride around the board. You have to spend 2 action points in order to do that. Every firefighter has 4 action points. Unless there's a special one that has more. I can't remember if one of the firefighters actually has like a 5th action point or 6th action point. I think one of them might have a little bit more because he has a special ability. But I think that special ability is like 3 action points or something. So we got doors on the actual area too. These doors here are all closed in this building. So anytime you open a door, it will cost you 1 action point to open the door. Anytime you get to somebody that you want to save and you have to drag them out, it costs 2 action points to carry them from one spot to the next. So let's go ahead and we're going to go ahead and try to come in here, and we're going to use the hazmat. So this blue guy is going to be the hazmat. This guy is going to be the driver over here. And what's going to happen is, I think with this guy, I'm going to come in through this section, and I'm going to try to get to this hazmat and try to dispose of it. This hazmat firefighter has a special ability that he doesn't have to drag the hazmat out of the building. He can just dispose of it with 2 action points, which is really, really nice. Other firefighters, if they need to get to a hazmat like this one, of course, if he's gonna have to come in and he's gonna have to drag that out, and it's like dragging any other victim, which costs 2 action points per square to do. So first thing we're gonna do, we're gonna spend our 4 action points. So this guy's gonna spend 1 action point. He's gonna go ahead and open the door, and then he's gonna spend another 1 to move. So he's already done 2 action points, 3, 4. He's gonna come here, and that's it. He's done. Now he's done. After you spend all the action points of your firefighter, you need to roll for smoke. So 3 to 1, and then this part of the game is called advancing the fire. So it's 3 and 1. So 3 and 1. So what happens is a smoke gets put there. But anytime that you put a smoke near a fire, what happens is the smoke automatically becomes fire. So now we have 2 spots on the board that are burning. Not good. Okay. So he's done. Now, if you notice, there's like these little itty spots on the board here. These are called hot spots. These are really, really, really bad because anytime a die rolls for advancing fire on a spot that has a hot spot, what you do is you're causing a flare up, and that means that you will roll the die again and for more fire in the building. There's also, if you notice over here, there are 6 hot spots over here. There's additional points of interest. As we start rescuing points of interest out of the building, we will replace them with other additional ones that are out here. If a flare-up occurs, we will end up putting another hot spot on the last roll for fire until these are all gone. Eventually, these will be all gone from here, and they will be on the board somewhere. So your whole house, the whole building, could have 12, or actually, we started off with 3, an additional 6, 9. Can have 9 hotspots. Now, I'm playing this on Recruit, which is the lowest difficulty of Experienced. If you end up playing this on Heroic, you'll actually have 12 hotspots to add to the board along with your 3. So there you go, 15 hotspots, which would make this building just roaring with fire. It'd probably be very, very difficult. Okay, so this guy's going to go now. What's he going to do? I think what he might do is he's going to open the door for 1, okay? And then what he's going to do is he's going to spend another 1 to come in, and then another 1 to move here, and then probably save his last action. So he will get 1 of these, 1 action point to carry over to the next turn. Now let's go ahead and roll for fire. Hopefully bad things won't happen. So we've got a 3 and a 6. Where is 3? 3, 6 right here. So we have another smoke. That just happens every time you roll for fire. It's a smoke when it lands. Okay, so we've got a smoke there. We've got a fire here. It takes 1 action point. I believe it's 1 action point to get rid of a smoke, right? Yeah, extinguish smoke, 1 action point. Extinguish fire, 2 action points. Okay, and you can also spend 1 action point to turn a fire into a smoke. So what am I going to do now on my Hazmat's turn? My Hazmat's turn, I'm going to move him up 1. I'm going to spend 2 action points to get rid of this. So this is now gone. So now he's got 1 action point left. And there's no point in me turning this into a smoke with my 1 action point left, because if I turn this to a smoke, it would just immediately become a fire because it's next to another fire. So that would just be, it would be stupid, right? So what we do is I would probably spend my last action point to move back, because I'm going to try to rescue this, whatever this is here. Okay? So now, at the end of this person's turn, you roll for fire. And it's 7 and 5 now. Where is 7 and 5? 7 and 5. Dun, 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 7 and 5. Right there, smoke. Okay, so not too bad, not too bad. Okay, so this person goes, this person here, he's got 5 action points because he's got this 1 leftover action point from the last one. So he's going to go ahead and spend 2 to move up with the Hazmat here. He's going to spend 1 to get rid of this smoke. That's gone. And then he's going to spend the last 2, because he had 5 to start off with, to carry out the Hazmat out of the building, and then now that is gone. So we've got 2 dangerous things, and this action point thing goes away. So we've got 2 dangerous items in the house that are already gone, which is fantastic. So let's go ahead and roll for fire, because everyone rolls for fire at the end of their turn. So we've got a 3 and a 4, so 1, 2, 3, and then a 4, so smoke goes right here. And now it's this person's turn. This person, now what are they going to do? I think I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, and he's going to save. This person's going to save an action point, because you need 2. And let's reveal this. Oh, it's a false alarm. Sometimes points of interest can be a false alarm, and there's nothing there. Boo, hoo, hoo. So he's going to save 1 of his action points. Well, actually, you know what? Maybe he's not. Maybe what I'll do is now I will go, I'll spend it 1 to go this way, just to be a little bit more centered here in case I need to go somewhere. All right, so at the end of his turn, let's go ahead and advance the fire here. So 4 and a 5. This was a 4 and a 5. Where's 4 and 5? Up here, so there's a smoke right there. And then we need a roll to put another point of interest on the board. So we got 4 and 3. 4 and 3. Let's put an point of interest next to a dangerous material there. Hoo hoo hoo. All right. So this guy's gonna go now. So this guy's gonna spend 1 to go into the building. He's gonna spend another 1 to go over here. I'm gonna go ahead and I think he's gonna spend 2 to get rid of this fire. Okay, so he's done. Now we go for roll for fire, and a 3 and a 3. 3 and a 3. Where's 3 and a 3? 3, 3. There we go. Another smoke. All right. I know where I'm going with this guy. This guy's going to come right up here. He's going to get rid of the hazmat and try to rescue this person, okay? So he comes up here. He spends 1 for that. He's going to spend another 1 to open the door. He's going to spend another 1 to go into here. And then he's going to spend another 1 to get rid of the smoke into fire. Go ahead and roll. 7 out of 5. 1, 2, 3. We got 7, and we got a 5 up here. Ooh, okay. So this now becomes, since this already had a smoke there, this now becomes a fire. Okay. Anytime you advance fire at the end of your turn and you land on one that's already a fire, an explosion occurs, in which case the fire will go in 4 different directions. So this guy's going to go now. I'm going to go ahead and spend 1 action point to get rid of this flame. I'm going to spend another 1 to go here, and another 1 to open up that door. And then he's going to spend 1 more to move into here. Let's see what this is. Another false alarm. You got to be kidding me. Okay, well, that's 2 false alarms already. Wow. Let's go ahead and roll to advance fire. A 2 and a 2. 2 and a 2 here. So that means smoke goes here, but guess what? It's next to fire. You know what that means? It becomes fire. All right, now I got to roll to put a point of interest on the board. A 6 and a 5. So 6 and 5. Oh, lucky me. Right next to where that guy was. So we go over to this guy now. So he's going to spend 1 to get rid of this smoke. I believe, I can't remember. I'm going to spend 1 to go over here, and then this reveals a person. But I'm going to spend the last 2 to get rid of this. And that is done, so we'll go ahead and roll for fire. And it's a 7 and a 2, so now smoke comes up to here. So now the smoke is coming over here. So far it's been pretty reasonable. We're kind of just working our way through, rolling for fire. The fire has hit in different areas, so it hasn't been too crazy right now. The part where it gets crazy is when you land on a fire that's already there and then you start having explosions. That's when it becomes difficult. So let's see if we can get to one spot that has an explosion. So this guy's gonna go here. Oh, look, it's somebody to rescue. So we spend 1 for that. I'm gonna spend 2 to bring this person up here, right? And then what I think I'm gonna do is I can't carry them out anymore. So I'm just gonna save the 1 action point from that. Put it over here. Now I'm gonna go ahead and roll for fire. 2 and 6. 2 and 6. So there's smoke goes here. There you go. Now this person goes. I'm going to go ahead and now spend 2 to carry this person here, and then spend another 2 to carry this person here. So we're going to roll for fire now. 6 and 5. So 6, 5, smoke goes here, but it turns into fire because it's next to fire. All right. This person goes. He's going to spend 2 to move here, and then another 2 to move here with this person he's supposed to save. Let's roll for fire. A 5 and a 3. All right, 5 and a 3 right here. Still no explosion yet. Smoke goes here, but it becomes a fire. All right, so this person, spend 2, and then there you go. This person is now rescued. Hallelujah. And now let's go ahead and roll for fire. 2 and a 1. Here we go. 2 and a 1. And look at that. We also hit 1 with one of these flare-ups. You know, I can't remember if I hit this already before. No, I didn't. I think I landed here before. These two spots. All right, so here's where an explosion occurs. So boom, this already had a fire here. So now it explodes this way. It's four ways. Whenever you hit a fire, fire is going to go this way, and it's going to go this way and this way based on where on the board it lands. So I'm going to put one here because it goes there. Then I'm also going to put a damage marker over here because the explosion, imagine something exploding this way. And I'm going to put a damage marker on this wall, right? Boom. And it's also going to explode this way. So now we're going to put a damage marker on this wall. Anytime you have two damage markers on a piece of wall, you can actually go through that wall at that point, because by then that means that part of that wall is gone. But only one damage marker means that part of the wall is still there and you cannot go through it. Now I have all of these damage markers in here. You see all these damage markers in here? When all of these land on the building, when all of these are on the building, the whole building collapses and you lose. So you have to rescue 7 while preventing 4 dying and while preventing the building from collapsing on you before you rescue the 7. So a damage marker here, damage marker here. The explosion also goes that way, right? So boom, boom, and then boom, a damage marker here. Okay, woo. And then boom, boom, but the door will stop. The door will stop the explosion from going into this room, but the door also gets blown off its hinges. So the door is gone. Bye-bye door. Okay, so bye-bye door, and then later on, if this explodes outward, it can continue. The doors are automatically open spaces. They don't take the damage markers like the walls do. Okay, wow, that was, and then look, we hit the flare up too. Uh-oh, because that's a hot spot. Guess what we got to do? We got to advance fire again. Dun, 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 dun. So 6 and 5, 6 and 5. Ooh, it's another explosion. We hit this for another explosion. So explodes that way, explodes this way. So guess what? Damage marker here, damage marker here. Damage marker here, and damage marker here. Wow. Well, things were looking pretty good. But now it's not so nice. Okay, and when I landed here on a flare up, I take one of these hot spots from the side of the board and put it right there where that additional roll for fire, because I landed here. So anytime you land on a spot that has a hot spot, you roll for additional fire. Okay, after you resolve the effects here, you roll for additional fire, and then the next spot where it lands on is where another hot spot will be placed. You can only put one additional hot spot per turn. So that means if you're hitting hot spots like crazy and rolling dice, additional fire, you will actually end up putting the hot spot at the end after you roll all the additional fire. At the very end. So if I hit 2 hot spots, I'm not going to put an additional hot spot down. I would roll for the 2 additional fires, and then at the very end, I would put the hot spot down on the coordinates for the very last roll for fire took place. Okay, so now it's this person's turn. He's going to spend 2, and he's going to spend 2 to go out because he's got this person with him. Yay. So now they're saved. So we've rescued 2, but hey, we still need to rescue. How many does it need? It's 7, right? If I get this right? 7. We've only rescued 2, and this house is on fire like crazy. So we seriously need to put the fire out here because this is getting nuts. So what you do now on the next turn, so what did I do? So I escaped with him, right? So now I need to roll for fire again at the end of his turn. So 7 and 3. 7 and 3, smoke goes right here. So yeah, so there's a lot of smoke going on. Okay. So you gotta kind of move your firefighters in this house, spending your action points, and get rid of the fire. So the next thing I would probably be doing, actually, you know what? I need to roll for. I only have one point of interest here. That was my bad. I should put more points of interest. Yeah, I can't put it on the smoke, so it goes here. So on this board, you'll see like these little arrows, right? And what happens is if you have actually, I believe I can put it on the smoke. You just can't put it where's the fire. I can't remember if you can put it where the smoke was or a smart. But anyway, I'm gonna put the point of interest there. But these little arrows on the board, they'll tell you where to put the point of interest, what square to put them on if there's already a fire there. So 6 and 2, and then so here's the other point of interest because you're supposed to have 3 on a board. That was my mistake. I was supposed to roll to put point of interest after this person's turn, and then I did one for their turn now, so it's good. So what you do is, as you go through the game, you spend your action points to go through. You open doors, you extinguish fires. So now my next turn with this guy, I'm probably going to come in here. I'm probably going to try to extinguish some of this fire, so that way it's not as bad if I roll on one of these areas. Because if I roll on any one of these areas that already have fire, that's going to cause another explosion. So if it causes another explosion here, this could be really, really bad because this whole area would be on fire. The other thing that's really cool about this game too is that you have a fire truck here, right? This fire truck. And if I wanted to, since this guy's a driver, I can get into here. I could spend 2 to move here and spend another. Actually, yeah, I'll spend 2 to move here, right? And then I could use his ability of 2 action points to target this little quadrant area here with the gun, the water gun of the fire truck. And if I roll in an area in this quadrant, I can actually put out multiple fires. So I'm just going to try it, see if I get it. So 2, 1. All right. So the rules are with the fire gun, it's either the top die or the one directly underneath it. So I would probably do the one directly underneath it because the top one is 7, right? So the top one I rolled is 7. So I'm going to flip it so it's going to be the 4. And it's a 4 or 5 or a 4 and a 2. And I would choose the 4 and the 2. Do I want the 4 and 2? Maybe not. Damn. Shoot. So I like this being 4, but I want it to be, if I could, a 1. I want it to be a 1 so the gun hits here and goes here. If it's here, it's gonna run. It's gonna go like this because the water gun, shoots in a plus sign, right? Wherever it hits, it's gonna go in a plus sign all the way across and all the way up and top like this. So if I nail the water gun right here at a 2 and 1. This would be perfect. It would get rid of all of this fire. But I didn't. So I'm gonna risk it because this operator of this says I can roll both die or one of my die for free. And wow, that's terrible. That's terrible. Now it's a 4. Oh no, never mind, because I can flip it. 4 to 4-1. So 4-1 hits here. No wait, 4-1 hits here, sorry. So it's right here. So 4-1 means that this would shoot this way. And this is an open door. Remember, the door blew off of this, right? So 4-1, the water shoots this way, hits this wall. The water shoots up this way, hits this wall. It shoots this way, hits this wall. And it also shoots this way, going all the way through. So all of this fire would be gone. We still have fire right there, though. So I used the gun effectively on the fire truck. And then now after his turn, I would roll for fire again. And let's see, do I get screwed again? 2 and 1, smoke. See, that was a good one, see? Because now the smoke goes here, but then this becomes fire. But there's a flare up right there. So now there's a flare up because I hit the hot spot. I will roll for fire again. And there you go. You got a 5 and a 6. And 5 and a 6. And so right here, you have a smoke right there. So hardly no damage. But since that was a flare up, I put another hot spot right there on that part of the board. So this is how the game is played. You use your firefighters, you go in, you spend your action points, you kind of, try to rescue people by spending action points by carrying them out, extinguishing fire, and find a good way using a lot of tactics between your teammates of entering the building at certain points or knowing when to use the fire truck to come around and spray water on certain places, knowing how to dispose of things quickly and carry people out quickly. Oh, and there's one other thing to note in this. You can actually switch your firefighter. So if I'm the hazmat here, but then all the hazmat items are gone, and like, do I need to be the hazmat? I could switch to somebody else, like the paramedic. The paramedic can go in here. Their ability is that they can carry people out faster instead of using 2 points. I think it's 1 point. Let me double check here. Yeah, so if I wanted to switch, oh no, it's not the paramedic. It's a rescue specialist. They get 3 free movement action points. So not only do they have their full 4 action points, but they have 3 free movement. They have 1, and chop only costs them 1 action point. Oh yeah, here's a paramedic right here. So you have the rescue specialist. So rescue specialist is somebody that kind of goes in the building quickly to get to some places fast, to do things quickly. Oh, I got to move them across the building really fast to get rid of some fire, and then, maybe chop down a wall or something, and then kind of pull out. The paramedic, this guy, this one, you can actually treat for 1 action point, which means place a heal marker beneath a victim in your space. Treated victims may move the firefighter without being carried. The paramedic pays double AP cost to extinguish fire and smoke. So this paramedic really sucks when they get rid of smoke and fire. It costs them 2 to get rid of a smoke and 4 to get rid of a fire. But they spend less action points carrying victims out of the building. Super, super, super cool. And then you keep going over and over, and you keep trying to rescuing people, pulling them out, trying to extinguish the fire until you win, hoping that the building does not collapse on top of you or that 4 people die. But yeah, it's a very fun, interesting game. I really enjoy it. I feel like it's better when you're in like absolute total panic mode. So if you play this on recruit, in the recruit mode is just so easy. You're like, oh my God, this is easy as hell. I'm getting through it. Because sometimes it also matters on how the die is rolled. Sometimes you can get die that just rolls in your favor, and the smoke and the fire appears in places where you already at and where point of interest are already at, and you can just get rid of the smoke and fire easily and then carry out the victims easily, and it could be an easy game. So the die definitely makes it changes the game to be either it can be very difficult if you get bad luck rolling the die, or it can be very, very easy. So if it turns out that recruit is too easy, then bump up the difficulty, put more hot spots on the board. And you can feel free. You don't have to go with the default difficulties in the manual. This game is very flexible to the point where you could put as many hot spots on the board as you want, based on how good your group is playing this game, to make the difficulty rise. Because you definitely want the difficulty to be there so that you're always in panic mode, because this game is absolutely fun when you're constantly in panic mode trying to rescue and put out the fires. It gets a little boring when everything's just going smooth and easy. So go through, adjust the difficulty to your like, try it on the different modes and levels. I mean, I think heroic is probably going to be really, really hard in this game. I have yet to play it on heroic. I played it on veteran and I played it on recruit, but heroic it actually doubles the hot spots, so it makes it a whole lot harder. But plenty of maps, plenty of boards to play, plenty of buildings, and then if you get the extreme danger, you get the upstairs and the downstairs, which is pretty cool, and the extra danger elements with those toxic and stuff.
and like the extra hazmat items and cars exploding, and it's pretty interesting. I definitely want to dig into the Extreme Danger Pack eventually. But anyway, this is Flashpoint, the board game where you are firefighters and you're rescuing people and trying to rescue them before a building burns down. It's a whole lot of fun. It's very unique. I definitely enjoy it. But that's it, guys. I'm out of here. I'm Jim the Game Guru, and I will see you later.